February 1945. The black sand of Iwo Jima clung to everything. Boots, rifles, faces. 19-year-old Sergeant Thomas Tommy Callahan from Chicago had been on the island 4 days. The volcano loomed behind them like a silent judge. Every step forward cost blood. Tommy's platoon was pinned on the slopes below Mount Suribashi. Japanese artillery zeroed in from hidden caves. The air cracked with machine gun fire and the scream of incoming shells. He lay flat behind a chunk of blasted rock, sharing cover with his squad leader, Lieutenant James "Jimmy" Hayes from Texas. Jimmy was older, 24, but looked 50. A fresh bandage wrapped his left arm, where shrapnel had torn through. "Mail came in last night," Jimmy said quietly, pulling a small bundle from his pack. "Got one for you, Callahan." Tommy's heart jumped. Letters were rare now. Supply ships took hell to reach the beach. He wiped bloody hands on his trousers and took the envelope. His sister's handwriting, neat, looping letters. He tore it open carefully. "Dear Tommy, the radio says Iwo Jima is hell on earth. I pray every night you're safe. Mom keeps your picture on the mantle, the one from boot camp. She says you're her brave boy. Little Mikey asked where Uncle Tommy is. I told him you're fighting bad guys, so we can all eat ice cream again someday. He drew you a picture. It's a stick soldier with a big gun and a smile. I'll send it next time. Dad's working double shifts at the plant. He doesn't talk much, but he stares at your empty chair at dinner. Come home, Tommy. We need you more than they do. Love always, Sarah. And Mikey, Mom, Dad." Tommy folded the letter and tucked it inside his helmet liner, right against his forehead. For a second, the war faded. He could almost smell his mother's kitchen. Coffee, bread, home. A mortar round landed 20 yards away. Dirt rained down. Someone screamed. Jimmy slapped his shoulder. "We gotta move. Flank that pillbox or we're dead here." Tommy nodded. They crawled forward through ash and bodies. The pillbox was concrete, spitting fire from 2 slits. Grenades wouldn't reach. Jimmy signaled, "Cover fire." Tommy rose, M1 barking. Bullets whined past his ears. Jimmy dashed low, zigzagging. He reached the base, pulled the pin on a satchel charge, lobbed it through the embrasure. The explosion shook the ground. Smoke poured out. Cheers rose from the platoon. But as Jimmy turned back, a sniper's round caught him square in the chest. He dropped hard. Tommy ran to him, sliding on knees. "Jimmy, medic!" Jimmy coughed blood. His eyes found Tommy's. "Read." The letter, out loud sometime. "Tell him." I tried. His hand went limp. That night, under a sky lit by flares, Tommy sat in his shell hole. The fighting paused for a few hours. A cruel mercy. He pulled out Sarah's letter again. This time he read it aloud, voice cracking to the dark. When he finished, he looked up at Suribashi. Far above, the flag was raised that morning. 5 Marines and a corpsman hauling it up. Men still talked about it like a miracle. Tommy pressed the paper to his lips. "I'll come home," he whispered. "For Mikey, for ice cream. For all of us." He survived the next 31 days of hell, lost more friends, took more wounds. But he carried that letter through every cave, every banzai charge, every quiet moment when death felt close. When the island was declared secure, Tommy boarded a hospital ship with a Purple Heart and a promise in his pocket. Years later, in a small house in Chicago, he'd sit his nephew Mikey on his knee and read the faded letter one more time. And every time, he'd finish with the same words. Some wars end on battlefields. Others end when you finally make it home.